I usually go much faster than that, but because you're such an incredible dancer, I find that I can like swing you around as far as you can, as fast as you can go, and you usually do fine with it.
Yeah?
I was taking it easy just now because
It actually was nice. I prefer that than the like ninja warp speed swing dancing.
That's me being a bad dancer doing if I do speed and the
It's more
freneticness,
impressive?
then it's more impressive. And
not.
And I
It's
know it's
not.
not. I know it's not. It's so lame. I look like I look kind of like a coked up kind of like yeah, I didn't quite get there. But yeah, I got
This
it.
was nice.
Yeah, it was a
this
good
actually was actually a proper speed.
Happy New Year.
Hi, happy 2016.
It's 2016. This is our first podcast of Kicking and Screaming for 2016. And for those that don't know, or are just finding us for the first time, I am Jenna Elfman. This is Bodie Elfman. And we're that's how it feels sometimes. And this is our podcast, Kicking and Screaming, which is a podcast sort of about relationships, marriage. But being married really isn't that important. But just relationships. Jen and I have been together.
You know, when you're stuck with some other fucking person to survive.
Right.
And all the shit that you encounter together.
When you're forced into an arranged marriage like us. Because Jen and I have been together since that Glenn Miller song first came out. We've been together since the 40s, right? Since just after the war.
Yeah.
We've been getting together. Actually, we've been together 25 years.
In a month, it'll be 26 years.
26 years in a month. Fuck.
Married 21 years in
Yeah.
February. On February 18th, it'll be our 21-year wedding anniversary.
But we were living together pretty much right away. So we've been a couple for almost 26 years. And both actors in Los Angeles. So that's each year is like dog years. So you have to do each year being like dog years. So that's 26 times 7. Oh, Moo's really good at math. Our friend and cameraman. Moo. What's 26 times 7? I'm not answering. Oh. Okay. Here, wait. You know what I found out? Is that Siri will do that. Siri, what's 26 times 7?
135. Oh, 182.
182. You were really close.
I was like, yeah.
You're really
I
close.
was going to eat chocolate. I wasn't good at math.
All right, so check this out. We have exciting news. We've been talking about it.
I've been teasing at it for 900 years.
So Jenna's going to tell you a little bit about what that news is right now while I go fill up my tea. I forgot to fill up my tea. All right, go ahead.
I just took a bite of chocolate.
Talk.
Ah! Okay, so many of you know, and those of you who don't know should find out because he's awesome. There's a very talented comedian named Chris Hardwick, and he has this amazing podcast called Nerdist. He had me on as a guest. He has incredible guests all the time. Not saying that I was one. I'm just saying he has amazing guests and
Artists, actors, musicians, everybody.
Yeah, just
he interviews
like
everyone.
leaders in their field. Anyhow, that's when I first got to know him. He had me on Nerdist podcast, and then we became friends, and he encouraged me to do a podcast. And Bodie and I thought, oh, well, let's do one about this.
About marriage.
Yeah, and relationships.
So
one thing actually kind of led to another, and his whole podcast and Nerdist Industries, for those of you know how big Nerdist Industries is and how much he's expanded with his Nerdist adventures. And so Nerdist has brought Kicking and Screaming on to their family into the Nerdist podcast group. So our podcast, Kicking and Screaming, that you are watching right here and or listening to, is now part of Nerdist Podcasts. And so we can now be found on Nerdist.com.
So we're going to get into specifics for you later with links. So you'll be able to find us on iTunes still, but you'll also be able to find us on Nerdist.com, where you'll be able to
watch or listen.
And there'll be photos. And what that means for us is that, oh my God, the dog. Can you guys hear that? Do you hear that? That's our asshole dog. He's
just excited about Nerdist.
No, he's an asshole. Oh. Okay, yeah, but he's probably excited about Nerdist too. So there's a lot happening. You're going to get to know more about what that means and links for the show and where you'll find us. But right now it's still on iTunes and it's still on YouTube. And
it's on Nerdist.com officially, so that's really where you should go.
That's where you should go, Nerdist.com.
Cool.
And from Nerdist.com, you can get to the iTunes and the YouTube, I think.
Bodhi really likes mechanics of things. Are we done with the administrative dissertation? Because it's really boring.
I hate it when technology doesn't make it clear to people of what you're supposed to do. Because I'm
Nerdist.com.
No, I said that. I'm not fucking. They're not confused by that part of it. I just was making it clear.
Okay, you said it like 3 times.
This has been a very tense morning. Right off the bat, I got a big lecture about music from Jenna. Because
it actually wasn't a lecture about music.
What was it? It was a lecture about something.
God, what did I give you the other night?
Dude, so
Back
listen.
off.
So listen, here's the thing. Let me just explain this to you guys.
Don't get gross, though. They don't want to hear the details.
Well, maybe there's a roundabout way, but here's the thing. In every new relationship, things start out sexually in a very high energy,
high radness kind of way.
Yeah, you're just fucking here, you're fucking there, you're flipping things. It's like you just look like chickens on rotisseries. That's how things start out, right? So for all those guys in new relationships, you're just like a chicken on a rotisserie. You're just spinning around, doing this and doing that. And as you get into the decade, it changes. And then as you get into the second decade, women like to think that they're done with sex. They're like, oh yeah, we've sublimated. We're into creative conversations and how to make the world
house decor
and how to make the world a better place. And there's children and parts of the world that need our help. All true.
He's trying not to sound like an asshole right now.
But in between the saving of children and making a better life, like having lots of sex is fun. It keeps the game going. So Jenna's really amazing because she still delivers the goods. But the other night, Jenna Elfman, Jennifer Mary Elfman, took me to a hotel room. Finally, I did it.
You've been hearing him yapping about it for a long time.
Got me in a hotel room, and she delivered the goods. But let me just say this because I'm not allowed to be graphic, and I don't even want to be graphic. But let's just say that Jenna's jaw was a little stiff for an hour or so. Because she was talking so much. Because we got in the hotel room and we got to finally catch up. We got to talk so much. So she was talking. She talked about this and she talked about that. And it aggravated her TMJ. Okay, you're telling me not to be gross. What were you doing just now? What's that?
I was eating my chocolate.
No, you were doing what's that? What
that was me bragging. Like.
Okay, that totally sounds like something different.
Okay.
I forgot to look at the time. What we started today. Yeah, that sounds like something different when you're doing, and we're talking about what we were talking about. So Jenna delivered the goods. She took care of business, left me
above and beyond
what's
normally expected by a wife of 20-something years.
26 years. She left me utterly destroyed and I don't know what the word is, but I was left on
satisfied.
I was left on that bed with very little thoughts left in my mind about anything. And that was like kind of amazing because it wasn't just like a quickie, knock out a quickie. It was like, let me just go the extra mile. And I feel like in a marriage, going the extra mile is an important thing.
Every now and then.
Yeah. Listen, seriously, no joke. We're in 2016. When was the last time you actually did that?
It's been a long time.
Would you?
No, not that I did that. It's that I did that
all the way,
but as far
all the way, like
I went all the way,
and it was like
with no mess.
Whoa, you do go there. Do you get what she means, Moo? Do you get what she means? Are you guys understanding what's happening here? What she did? Do you get what she did? She went full Monty. So I gotta shut up.
I just thought it might shut him up for a while.
How long did it shut me up for?
Like fucking a day and a half.
Amazing. That's fucking amazing. You know what was amazing about that is that
I really was hoping it was gonna last longer than that. That's okay.
You deserve a lot. You deserve a real big validation. I'm proud of you. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
You were making me laugh so fucking much afterwards, and you were talking about like going through life with
my
blowjob jaw.
Like, what if you actually your jaw locked open?
Think about it.
That
could really
if it went off its disc.
Yeah, because when you're like that for a long time,
how do you?
It hurts.
That?
You know when you're at the dentist, and after a while you get like, ow.
Yeah, like it doesn't close properly.
Yeah, or it hurts. You didn't complain or anything. You just kept going. You just powered through it.
All the way.
She went all the way.
So,
okay.
I think they got
Hey, Nerdist, yay! I bet I can just see the sponsors lining up for advertisements. We can see that.
I'm sure the condom industry would love us. They could advertise.
I know. But there wasn't a condom during that. Okay, so we're so fucked up right now. I'm being like a 14-year-old boy.
You
at a
actually
slumber party.
are. You're being a little weird this
like
podcast.
a 14-year-old at a slumber party. I am a little. I'm in a weird mood today.
I see that.
I'll tell you what it was. Is that it's like we're in a different space than we're usually in. Still,
this is our third podcast in this space. What's so new about it?
It's still kind of new. Our friend Moo was giving me a hard time about the lighting. I didn't tell him about the lighting, so he made it seem as if the whole thing was just going to be in the black. Then you gave me a whole thing about we can't use any music. So I was all like, okay, so you can't see us, and I'm not allowed to use music. So in my mind, I thought like it's just going to be like a black voices coming from the dark about nothing. So I got a little fucked up.
Oh, I see. Well, snap out of it.
Okay, I'm here.
We danced. We swing danced.
We swung.
That should snap you into it.
Jenna's an amazing dancer. We used to go swing dancing a lot when we were little kids. But then Jenna decided she wanted to always wear heels, and I'm not a short guy, but I'm not like a
Napoleon complex.
I'm not a short guy.
I didn't say you are. I just said Napoleon complex.
Well, that's short. If
No,
you're
that's
a Napoleon complex.
No,
that's
that's
because you're short.
No, it's a man's view of his height and his position. You're not short. It's just you act Napoleon-y when I wear my high heels.
I'm just almost 5'10".
And then I have other
and
men
you're
that
you're
go
5'10".
nothing but admiration when I'm in my heels. They're like, wow.
Well, yeah, because they're usually taller than you. I'm in flats. In flats, you're slightly taller than me in flats, like a half inch taller than me in flats. Mm-hmm. You're almost 5'11". Mm-hmm. And I'm like almost 5'10".
Right.
So I'm not short. It's not like I'm not like Dustin Hoffman or whatever. Not that matters. What does that matter? I have so many short friends. It's ridiculous. Why do people put attention on that? Like,
I don't know. It's just cultural establishment of male position in society, I suppose.
I guess so. That's a stupid thing to worry about. I mean, I guess that mattered if you're on a basketball team or was a caveman that lived in a cave that was high up.
Because he couldn't.
Because he had to. Like the short cavemen didn't live as well. But what does it mean now?
It doesn't.
It doesn't mean anything.
Oh
my
so
God,
we were on a really funny flight yesterday.
Oh yeah, we just got into Los Angeles last night. We were on Christmas vacation with the kids, and what was so funny about it?
Well, I had a funny moment with a very sweet male flight attendant.
Oh yeah.
And there's those two funny guys sitting behind you that just thought everything was hilarious.
Because they were going to the big national championship game today. Who is it? Alabama and Clemson. So the plane was full with maybe 50 or 60 Clemson and one or two Bama people, and so
what genre of sport are you even talking about?
College football. And so everyone all the time, everyone was wearing their orange and they were chanting. I mean, really, like it was like as if they had charted the fucking flight. I'm
that's why
talking to the
so
camera guy
orange
because
people.
The camera guy's a big sports guy, so I was as if I could get some agreement. Most of you guys don't give a shit. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, they were having fun, drinking their like beer, and they were laughing at us, and we were having a good time. We got on the plane because I got in trouble immediately upon arriving into my seat.
Immediately, Jenna gets in trouble.
We have both of our boys with us, and we're traveling with our friend Jason, and he had both of his kids, 3 and 5, and our kids are 5 and 8. So there was a lot of like 4 kids under the age of 8 within our little immediate environment, which creates some, 3 of them are boys. So that's some random motion that happens, and some needs and some things that need to get handled when you're not all in the same row, and then everyone's trying to board the plane, and you keep, Mama, where's my thing? Where's my thing? Bodhi's over there. I'm over here. Jason's here. The kids are up there. So
that one hair was going to get me.
Oh, cool.
Go ahead.
Thank you. And so I kept having to reach and grab things for the kids.
In the aisle,
but I was like doing it in between, there's like flows of people as they're like boarding, but it's always like upstream. Anytime you have to go forward, even if it's one seat or to grab something from the overhead bin, it's just like this upstream thing, and you just annoy everybody. And so this flight attendant dude comes from the back, appears out of nowhere, and leans over the seat and is like, well, there keeps being, can we get into our seats, please? And I was like, let me just grab the one thing. Yeah.
So he comes up and he's like, we could love to have everyone in our seats right here because there seems to be a bit of a bottleneck right here.
But he was a little like passive aggressive about it.
And Jenna's like, bottleneck right here? You mean me because I can't sit down? Because there was like a line of people trying to get on the plane all bottlenecked right where Jenna is. So there's before Jenna, 30 people after Jenna, empty plane.
But it was like literally for 3 seconds.
But
He
it
just
was-
happened to come at that one time, and I got like in trouble when I really wasn't bottlenecking that bad.
And all the Clemson fans around Jenna thought that was the funniest thing in the world to see cute Jenna get in trouble.
And I felt a little vulnerable because it was kind of a crazy morning getting everybody packed, and I had just like my hair pulled back into a knob that was like half splaying all over. I had zero makeup on. And I just had a cup of coffee, so I was a little high on caffeine, and my hair was like, and those guys I was like,
Is that why you were a little busybody in the plane? You're just getting up and doing this, doing that, standing up, bottleneck in the plane,
Well,
standing up.
I would love to continue the story, but let's just move prior to boarding.
Okay, yeah.
I'm in line at Starbucks getting something for Story.
Oh my God.
The
You were gone
longest
for an
line in
hour.
the
You were
history.
at the line for an hour.
Well, he starts texting me, you need to come now. What's your ETA? Now you need to come now.
Do you
And so
guys-
I'm like,
Okay. Do you guys ever have that thing where
and then he's walking on. It's not even time for me to board
wait,
yet.
do you ever have that thing where you're boarding a plane?
You stress me out
two of-
unnecessarily.
You do everything that stresses me out. You are a stress inclinator.
Stress.
Sounds like a
Stress inclinator? What the fuck does that mean?
my new product that I'm going to be selling on infomercials.
No one wants a
So-
stress inclinator.
You are a stress inclinator. You incline for stress. You know, you ever have those things on planes where one of you they're boarding the plane, one of you is going to the bathroom or getting something, and the other one is in, like, it's stress. Like, you feel like, oh shit, it's all fucking
You know that
happening.
you were boarding early, playing the
Hey.
doing your like thing
Okay.
of getting on early.
Okay, she was about to out me so bad right now, and I cut it off. Yeah,
I
found a way to board planes early. I found a little loophole that I used to board planes early.
for yourself.
Well, I found it for myself, but then I realized I can do it so I can save a bunch of seats for my kids. So all my
Yeah.
kids and my
So why are you telling me I need to come right this fucking second when I didn't?
I had to explain to you what was happening because I had a whole intricate plan worked out in my head of like how the seating was going to work.
Can we talk about? I can say there's ways to express things. The exact same communication that makes someone know what's going on, and you could express the exact same communication that lets someone know what's going on, and that turns their stress volume up to 10. You can say the exact same thing without fucking jacking someone up so bad they're flop sweating. They can't breathe. Everyone's staring at them when they arrive because they're stressed. And then you walk on the plane and then the lady goes, I'm sorry, you have to stand over there and wait for family boarding. You can't board yet. And I'm like, okay, what? Oh, okay. Where? And now everybody's looking at me and you're on the plane.
Okay.
So thanks for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And you're also welcome for the fact that on both legs of the flight, I made it so every single one of us could sit together despite the fact that that's almost
You're on Southwest.
I made
so we
it.
could all fly together and the timing that we needed. And there's no assigned
made
seats
it
on Southwest.
So 3 adults and 4 kids could all sit next to each other. Think about that.
He's only trying to get.
That's 7 seats. I made it so 7 seats could be blocked off the entire plane. That's fucking amazing. She doesn't even get it. 7 seats that weren't together that I made so
If
all the
you're
kids
in
could
A
sit next to
boarding-
rah.
You can get 7 seats together if you're A.
No, you can't. You can't because everyone takes the aisle seats and that's what they do. They go
Not
right
in
through the
A.
plane.
It doesn't fill up the entire.
Absolutely.
God. Anyhow, come now. Now come. ETA now. Come now. You need to come now.
Stress inclinator. You're a stress inclinator.
You are.
You are.
Because you communicate things in a stressful way. Anyway,
You
I
stress me
arrived
out.
onto the plane stressed out. So then I'm like trying to get everything handled. Did you see what he just did? He was like
No.
trying
No.
to get away from it. He's
No,
like,
there's a thing that Jen and I are dealing with in our marriage right now that's coming up a lot, and she's right about what she's saying, which is that I get forceful and I get stressed out. And I'm working on being a little bit more playful and a little more carefree.
It's going to be a 10-year evolution.
And Jenna doesn't quite get the things she does, causes such fucking stress with her les enfers, her Parisian mime attitude, like she's an artist drawing on the street in Paris, circa 1932. Hey, bonjour. No, we are just, what the fuck? Who knows what's for dinner? Where are we going to eat tonight?
I would imagine
Who
that
knows?
it seems that way to you.
Hey, I don't know what the kids are going to
freak.
eat. Why worry about the kids and what we're doing? I mean, everything will take care of itself. Come on. Things will right themselves. The kids will somehow miraculously not eat crackers the entire rest of the day and get headaches and nosebleeds like that happened to them all day yesterday. Everything will work out. Everything. You're a mime in 1962 Paris. It's amazing. Fuck the plans. Fuck the making things better for everything to go more organized. Let's just let it all work out. Come on. What are we? We are free spirits living in the world. The kids... So they eat crackers, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 5 days, and one of them gets continual nosebleeds. It's okay. No problem. He has no...
Ow.
What did you
You
just
sound
say?
like a muscle twitch that like grabbed my esophagus.
It's me. I know. I'm the worst. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, you're an exaggerator beyond belief.
But that was...
It was not crackers for 5 days and continual nosebleeds. We had one nosebleed in 2 weeks on the way to the airport, but okay.
Because our kid eats nothing
And
but crackers.
I got him chicken the night before, and usually if he eats chicken, he doesn't get a nosebleed. And he ate chicken, so what the fuck? He was
That this
dehydrated.
is even a conversation shows you what we go through. And it is true that I can be forceful. And it's true that my wife can be a little laissez-faire, a little it comes and it goes, comme ci, comme ça, little this, little that, whatever. And that is what makes her beautiful and makes her life magical. And we have a magical life because of my wife. And sometimes I just want a little structure and plan because I'm a little bit communist China. Like I'm open for free markets, but I also want the people to be fed. I want the factories to be producing. So
I want the factories to be producing too.
Shut up. That was really okay. I'm not even going to go there. We've got other podcasts simply devoted to this issue. You can find other podcasts.
Here's the thing. If someone, it's all through the eyes of the beholder.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. North Korea,
Mm-hmm.
just because he views that everybody needs to be controlled and dominated,
That's horrible.
doesn't actually mean
They're all starving there,
that they do.
right?
So if you are viewing the world as if everybody is incompetent and needs control,
That's horrible. Everyone is not incompetent there. Everyone is very competent. That's a horrible viewpoint to have about the running and making of a better world. Is that everyone is? I would have a coup. I'd fly in the middle of the night with Navy SEALs and I would take them out. That's not me. I just want like a little structure where everyone is like running smooth and things are good and kids get to sit next to each other on the plane instead of 20 rows apart from each other.
that's cool, but that can be done in a way that isn't like...
Agreed.
Agreed.
Agreed. I get a little...
Like fucking Flintstones.
I get a little
You're
aggressive.
like Fred Flintstone, Jesus.
Wilma! That guy?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Like a fucking bat, like banging me on the head. It doesn't make me think more organized when
You're
I'm
right.
getting fucking beaten over the head with
You're
like...
right. You're right about that. You're totally right. I get a little fucking
You bang
tense
a
and aggro.
fucking mime in Paris over the head, he's going to fall to the ground and not be able to function.
Why don't you draw more? Draw now. Is that me? Okay. I agree. So that's what happens with this. That's something that we argue about a lot. And you can see that it always ends really well and leaves us in a much better place.
So I arrive on the airplane and I immediately get in trouble because I'm blocking the flow. And so I humorously said to the guy, he's like, so can we get in our seats, please? I was like, yes, as soon as I finish this, because I just stood up. That was the weird thing, is I just stood up. And he decided to pick on me. So.
Did he pick on you after that?
I feel like there was one other comment.
Was that the one who had his zipper down?
No, he was very nice.
The one with the zipper down was very nice.
He was so sweet.
Yeah, he was.
He was totally sweet and was just generous and helpful and kind. But I have a story, and you just blew my whole fucking thing. But okay. So there's...
I didn't know you were going to tell that story.
What other story is there from the flight? That is the story of the flight.
Well, tell it.
My God. He hates it when I blow his punchlines, and he just went boom, played like the whole card.
Hey, come on, whatever happens, come on.
Okay, so oh my God, I was in like a whole control obsession.
Hey,
control.
Hey, I'm just trying to be free. I don't want to.
I think you should do an exercise where you spend a day and observe the world and see if it functions without you doing anything. And then find where you need how much. It's like a guy who just like floors his car. Like he's just like, and like doesn't understand that there's like a gradual, like it's a,
Jenna.
Like with the gas pedal actually has gradients
Jenna,
of
I have
speed.
so many times where I've just let things go.
Well, I'm not saying let things go. I said there's an exercise.
I've just let things go, and
you don't even grasp what I'm
saying.
saying.
The boat has breached.
Because you're not willing to actually not control anything.
No, I just don't like it when the boat hits the shoals and breaches. Is that right?
Well, for you, it's breaching. For other people, it's actually pleasurable to actually not do anything.
To die submerged, eaten by sharks.
Just like
okay, all
it's
right.
a whole separate argument. I'm in
right.
the middle of my Southwest.
Tell
flight
your
story.
Southwest flight story. It's a good story.
I actually love Southwest Airlines.
Yeah, they're
really awesome.
The only ones I want to fly now.
I know.
Because Delta sucks anus.
We always get sick after we fly Delta.
I think they pump in fucking poison through that fucking air filter. Everyone gets headaches on
How
Delta.
do they benefit from that? How does that help anybody?
No, what I think it is that they save money by shorting the amount of air they pump through or something.
Like oxygen that actually kills germs?
I think that it's just money-saving corporate shit, and all I know is every time I fly Delta, I get a headache. Then I said it to other people, and they're like, yeah, I get a headache too, right?
Do you get sick from Delta Moo?
So it happened. You mentioned
Every
that
now
you
and
did,
then, yeah.
But then you mentioned that you had a friend with the same complaint, and I think that they just don't pump enough air in those fucking holes.
Like fresh oxygen.
Yeah.
Or they use some like weird air purifying thing that actually doesn't use proper oxygen. Or
Right,
something.
like
that
they
kills germs.
They get their air from Mexico or
Just
China.
send Delta your doctor bills.
I think they get their air from Mexico or China. They get it sent over from Mexico or China.
Made in China.
Which has a much poorer quality air.
More like industrial fumes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's cheaper.
God, I'd love to tell this Southwest story.
Okay,
that
go
I'm
ahead.
trying to.
I know. We got to do this.
25 minutes now.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Please go ahead.
So there's this very sweet flight attendant. So I noticed, when you're sitting down and the flight attendant's standing up, their crotch is at your face level. So I'm sitting there and he comes by and then his fly is all the way down at my face, which is fine. I don't mind. I have a thing.
I know you do.
I have a thing. I always catch guys' flies being down. And it makes me feel like I'm always looking at guys' crotches, and I'm not.
Tab on this, please, with your story. But I get to get my tab back later.
Okay, post it.
Post it right there on that point.
For
right
some
here.
reason, I walk around. I'll be like, burp, 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 burp. A guy's flies open, like across a parking lot. I'll be like, radar, burp, 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 and I'm like, hey, your fly's down. He's like, oh, thank you. But I tell them because I would want to be told. It's the same thing as like if you have something in your teeth, you would want someone to tell you. So I tell guys when their flies down because I would hate for it to like more to be out. And then they're trying to like pick up some chick and his like flies open. It's like awkward. Or he's at what if he goes for a job interview and then they just think less of him because he's kind of disheveled with his fly. I wouldn't want that to happen to me. So it's golden rule for me. Okay. I always tell people, strangers, if they have a button open, their flies down, something in their teeth, I tell them. I don't care if I've never met them. I tell them. Okay, so I'm like, oh man, his fly's down and he's at face level with every single person. I got to tell him. And he was such a sweet guy. So I said, like this, and he leans down and I went like this. And I said, your zipper. And he leans down and he goes, thank you. You are too. He thought I said, you're super.
So
and I
continued
was
on.
like, so I sat back up and I'm like, and he was so sweet about it. He's like, thank you. You are too. Like he was like a fan of mine. Apparently. I found out after, which I'll tell you. And I was like, so now that we've had this sweet exchange, I can't then like go,
by the way, your dick is hanging out.
no, I actually meant your zipper, but you are super. Like, what do you do? That's just like a totally
it's the worst.
social, awkward. I was
You're
just
done.
like,
You're done.
So then the guys next to me are like, what? And I was like, and I told them and they were like doubled over laughing. Not at the guy,
Clemson
just
fans.
at they were just laughing at the it's just a
Just
funny
so
story.
fucked up. Yeah.
And so then I was like, what do I do? Because now I still have the purpose to tell him that his fly is open, but I can't now then go hey, your zipper, because then he's going to put it back and go,
He's not really
super.
super.
He's not super.
He's not super.
And then my heart wants to cry.
Yeah, because Jenna's a nice person.
So I'm like in a problem. And so then I'm trying to tell Jason next to me, I'm like, you got to tell him, but say fly, don't say zipper, because then if you say your zipper, he's going to
super.
And I was trying to go, you guys, do you want to be the ones to tell him? Or Jason, do you want to tell him? Or like negotiating in our row, who's going to be the one to tell him that his fly's open? I go, you have to say fly. You can't say zipper, because I don't want him to think that I didn't say that he was super. Okay. So, so then I go, but I'm going to bend down and act like I'm getting something out from under my seat when he comes so that he's not embarrassed by me knowing, because he's a fan. And then he would die if I'm right there knowing that his fly is open. And then he's going to equate it, and then he's going to want to kill himself. And I just don't want to make anybody feel that way. So then he comes by. I'm like, okay, Jason, go. And I reach down. I'm like getting something out from under the bag, under the seat in front of me, like pretending, and the guys in the other row are like snickering, and like I'm waiting to kind of hear the cue of like Jason saying your fly's open, so I'm kind of just like awkwardly bent over, and I sit back, and he walks away, he sits back up, I'm like, did you say it? And Jason's like, no, the opportunity didn't really present itself. I was like, ah!
Now this is typical, because I turn around and I see Jenna involved in a whole group activity with weird energy, and people are looking, and I don't know what the fuck she's gotten herself into. I'm just facing forward, enjoying my plane ride, and I look over and Jenna's got people involved. Groups of people are huddled around, looking, glancing around, and this is the kind of stuff that she gets into.
Because it's fun.
But the nature of it was because she's a fucking sweetheart. That's how Jenna is. She's a fucking sweetheart. But I realized later that he probably saw his zipper was down and then felt that you were validating him, like you've got like you're super, like well done, like you got a good, like he probably just thought that you were validating his package. Oh, here's my tab.
That is like from Mars, dude. That is like nowhere near
no, it's
what
probably,
happened.
That's
Wait, I'm not done with my
happened.
story. Would you like to interrupt it again?
No, I wouldn't.
Fucking hell. So then we're all like having a group discussion on how best to handle the situation, because now I just can't let him go another 5 minutes with his fly open.
There's a lot going on.
It's not even kind of open. It's all the way. It's at the bottom. And it's a fly that's like that long. It's a really long zipper. It wasn't like a zipper. It was like a zipper.
Southwest slacks.
It was polyester Southwest slacks zipper that long.
All the way open.
And he's having to squat down, on all the passengers. And I just didn't want anything to pop out. Like, I don't know if he's like had underwear on. I don't know. And I didn't want to find out. So anyway, there's a lady flight attendant standing there. I'm like, let's just tell her to tell him. Then hopefully he'll never put it together. And fella, if you're watching this right now, you were awesome. And don't be embarrassed. I was doing everything I could.
Happens to the best of us.
Happens to the best of us. I have nothing on it. Okay. And you were really awesome bringing all those cookies, so thanks. Okay, so I told her, I said, hey, you know what? His fly's open. Can you go tell him? But don't say that I said it.
Oh my God, Jenna.
Oh, no, because here's what happened. Before I told her,
my
I
God,
went
honey.
up to go to the bathroom, and he was up there, and he's like, he said something, I can't remember exact words, about that he was excited that I was on the flight or whatever. And he's like, I'm like more intimidated with you than I was when Jerry Brown was on. And I was like, oh, cool. Thank you. Whatever. And so I knew that he had an importance on the fact that I was on his flight. And so then I was really wanting to be protective, because now I'm like, he's a fan and he's intimidated. And now if he finds out that I know his fly's open, it's going to be awful for him. And I really didn't want him to feel bad, because I would hate that if I was like a fan of someone and I'm like intimidated or trying to please them, and then I find out they know my fly's open. Like, I want to die. And there's no escape from an airplane. You can't go running down the hallway and leave the building. You're stuck, man. God. I'm like going through major things to make sure he feels okay and doesn't get embarrassed. That was my whole purpose, was to make sure this guy didn't feel embarrassed.
So what happened?
So then I told the lady flight attendant, can you please go tell him his fly's open? I don't want him to feel embarrassed. She goes up, and then I'm like not looking while she's telling him, because I don't want him at all. Because while he's up there, he's glancing.
Jenna.
And I'm like, the guys over in the other seat know. And so we're just kind of like,
oh my God,
doing this. And then she comes back. And then she comes back and she goes, I told him.
Oh.
And he's standing right up there. Oh, when she told him, the guys in the other row are watching. They're like, oh, he just turned beet red.
Oh.
And I was like,
oh, fuck.
So anyway, he zipped up his fly, and I just really hope he didn't think that it came from me. And then he was just really sweet the whole way and was just helpful with fucking cookies. And the kids were getting hungry, and Southwest only offers pretzels, cookies, and Chex Mix. And I had a lunchbox packed, but of course they never ever want anything you pack.
Jenna had no problem with giving them bags and bags and bags of cookies, bags of it. So
wait. What did I get at Starbucks? 3 fucking sausage and egg breakfast sandwiches that fucking saved the entire flight of children.
You did. Hey, don't get that mad at me. Don't fucking make it seem like it's like you goddamn fucking cured cancer.
Little Lily.
You're fucking cancer.
You get on me about the planning, and she feeds her kids crackers for 5 fucking days and ignores the fact that I fucking got those 3 sandwiches, fed Easton sausage and egg, the whole thing, and a bagel, and little Lily was starving, ate that whole sandwich.
You did great on that, and I appreciate that.
No acknowledgement of that.
You did great on that. I fucking appreciate that. I really do.
It's easier to ignore that.
No, it's not easier to ignore that.
Anyway, it was a really fun flight.
You know that
those guys made it really fun. I loved laughing with them.
You know that you have always had a thing where you look at guys' dicks in their pants.
No, I don't.
Yes, you have.
I can't help it if they're jumping out at me. Like,
you always.
Some guys wear athletic.
I know, because when I've seen,
I'm like, ah.
Whenever there is like a guy in sweatpants or athletic pants where there's a little bit of a package,
pokes out,
but it gets you. Like it affects you. Like
it's distracting,
but it gets you more than others. Like you get definitely like beet red about it. Like I've seen
because I feel like it's like right there.
Guys
and I'm like,
in yoga pants.
Oh,
yeah, you get like,
or they're in their like those like Adidas ones that are like not baggy. They're kind of like form fitting, and you can totally see.
I can always tell if you've seen a dick in the last hour because you're always you turn beet red.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah,
I know. I get like I don't know where to look because I'm like, it's like you know, like at an antenna tower.
Your eyes go to
in
that.
A cartoon?
But your eyes go to that.
Well, how does it not go to that? There's a penis poking out at me.
Maybe they does that with all girls. You're probably right. I just don't know other girls because I'm not intimate to know with other girls get. But I notice if you see like the outline of a dick through the pants, you go like beet red.
I'm very uncomfortable if I see an
up.
outline of penis in a pant. It's very distracting. I get very uncomfortable. I don't want to see the outline of your penis.
I guess you're right. Guys get really fucking worked up if there's a bad camel toe. I've gone on some
you
hikes.
get all like, camel toe, and you got to like point it out. You talk about it for an hour.
I saw a camel toe on a hike last year that I swear to God I'll never forget. I mean, I felt like she was gonna hurt.
You feel like attacked by it?
No, I felt like she was gonna hurt her pancreas. Like it had outlined it so bad and pulled it up everything was so loose.
Like outlined.
Oh, it was a legendary camel toe, and she was youngish. Like wasn't like an old lady that wasn't aware of what was happening. I've seen many older ladies with camel toes or mom jeans.
Yeah, they just like lose communication with their vagina. Like they have no idea what's happening like down in their nether regions at all.
Yeah, and by the way, when Moo looks at his watch, it's his iPhone watch, so he's looking at emails. He's not looking at the time, although he probably was looking at the time there.
Well, it's the workout dudes. You know, you see these guys and they work out, so they're always in like a tank top with their muscles, and then they have their workout pants, and then their little penis head sticking out. It like pokes out a little bit.
It is hard because you're walking around with like a
what kind of underwear makes that happen? Like, how come some guys are in sweats and that doesn't happen, and other guys are in sweats and it does happen? What's the difference?
The boxer briefs that have a little container that have a little extra
a gusset.
Yeah, a little gusset. Then it all drops into and that's what I like because I don't like everything bunched up. But then what happens is that in workouts you want everything contained, which does the ballet thing and puts it all right there. And that's when you see it. You see that.
That's if they're in tighty whitey types
or anything that kind of bunches it up a little bit.
That brings it up.
Yeah, and then you're getting that.
God, I don't like it.
Or you're just.
I feel like it's socially like I'm being attacked.
It is difficult because it's a whole package that you're like, what do I do with this shit?
But for male dancers, it's different though because it's
they
like a
wrap that shit up in male dancing. They wrap that shit up and they stick it up.
No.
How would you know? because of all of your
Who
years in
can
dance
dance
training?
with their shit wrapped up? No one's gonna fucking dance up in the
That's
air.
what
all
that's called.
wrapped
It's
up.
called like what's it called? Like an onion package?
I should ask Fabrice Calmels.
Oh, is that the guy that you that
So anyway,
he's a dancer. Jenna likes looking at his dick.
No, I
I just
don't.
said that. I didn't even say. I was just kidding. I was kidding.
I actually never looked at his dick at all
Just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
because he doesn't fucking shove it in my face. Like fucking like buff workout dudes walk with their little fucking tip of their penis like
That is weird. I make sure that
Do
in
you
my
see
work.
that? Do you see what I'm talking about? Or do you, because you're a guy, you don't notice?
I don't notice it
Okay,
unless
when a
it's like
chick,
an
when a
egregious.
chick's like nippies are hard and sticking out, is that totally distracting for you?
No, it's fantastic. I see it every time it happens. I notice it and I make note of it every single time. It's fantastic. And
Well, what's the difference between that
and
and
the thing
a
is
guy's
that
tip
the thing is
attacking
that
me through
well,
his pants?
nothing. There is no difference. I understand it. I get why you look. I look at girls' boobs and the nipples in a shirt if they're hard. And the thing is, there's nothing the girl can do about it. So I don't make them feel introverted. I don't stare or gawk. But I take.
I don't stare or gawk. I just can't help. It's like if someone has like.
Well, I enjoy it. You don't.
I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, you turn beet red and your whole world
I
becomes
get like,
about that moment.
I shouldn't be seen. Why are you? I
You
don't
have
want to
red
know.
sirens.
Yeah. It's like, I get very like, I feel
Yeah.
like my head suddenly like, my face becomes a Picasso painting.
Yeah,
I get like,
that's how you look. That's how you look.
That's how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm fine, and then that's how I feel when a guy's penis tip is
I've
sticking
seen
out
your
from his
expression
exercise pants.
a couple times and it always
Put
makes me
that
laugh.
shit away. I don't want to see it.
They are difficult. The
Change your underwear.
whole genetic thing is an odd makeup because it's just they stick. Things are pokey. There's
You know what happens?
pieces.
It makes me go, does he have a hard on right now? That's what it is. I go, ew, does he have a hard on? Because
And
if a guy's got a hard on,
and
that's
that
like
again-
something's going on over there.
No.
And then it makes me go, ah.
No, do you know that like weenies get hard sometimes on their own? Like I have a
Like
thing.
in the middle of a bookstore?
Well, it's happened.
Like
it
I'm in an aisle of a bookstore and I'm like,
It doesn't happen all the time to me, but it does happen. But here's what does happen to me. Is guys wake up with erections, right? We know that.
Really?
Okay, so you know that from 26 years of being with me. And
And a guy on a plane next to me who woke up from a nap once.
good. So guys wake up with erections. I wake up at around the same time every day, right? Now, I've had a thing that has happened that's very interesting. If I move out of a time zone into another time zone, at that time of the day, even if I'm having breakfast or doing something else out in the street, my thing goes like a dink. And I'm like, oh, it's because it's morning in LA.
Does that happen to you, Moo?
That doesn't happen. That's only me. My thing is clockwork. My body goes ka-dunk at the time of the morning when I should be waking up, and I'll be somewhere like if I'm in New York.
Do you have random moments like that, Moo?
If I'm in New York, my dick goes LA time, and I'll be like out at breakfast with friends or on meetings, and it's like ka-dunk, and I'm like, well, I'm here in my skinny jeans and my nice outfit out at a coffee shop with friends, and I have a full blown ready to go. And there's nothing you can
Really
do about
embarrassing.
it. No, you can't do anything about it. You're
Just
done.
hopefully you're sitting down with a tablecloth on your lap.
Well, it also depends on what you're wearing. If you're wearing like jeans, you're okay. If you're wearing chinos, it's less okay. If you're wearing sweats, you're fucked. That's what it comes down to. Jeans are okay. Chinos, slacks, not so good. Sweats, you're beyond fucked.
Yeah, I get embarrassed. I'm like,
Sure.
I'm not supposed to be. I don't want to know. Am I supposed to do something about that?
Am I supposed to do I need to jerk you off? What? Do you need some help? Do you want a really long blowjob? Because I'll help. Oh, Jenna, that's what I love about you. You're super. You're super. You just want to help.